What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Nissan Titan SV. Huge thank you to Fredy C over at Priority Nissan here in Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Titan SV or any Nissan product, I'll be sure to have Fredy's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. On today's weather report, we got breezy-ish conditions, cloudy skies, and it's going to be about 80 degrees outside here today with relatively no humidity. But like I just mentioned, there are like breezy-ish conditions outside right now. So if you do hear the occasional wind gust on the camera, I do apologize. I am trying my best. I do have a windsock on the camera, but it's not 100%. So just keep that in mind as we go throughout the walk around. So just like I always do, first, let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So, like I said, this is a 2023 Nissan Titan SV, and this particular one has been painted in one of my personal favorites, the deep blue pearl paint. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that blue is my favorite color on any vehicle, whether it's a sedan, a performance vehicle, and or a truck, and this is no different. I absolutely love this blue here. But starting over here at our headlights, as standard with the SV, you get halogen headlights as well as standard turn signals. But working our way to the center of the front end, I really like the design of the Titan. It looks like a truck. It's got that boxy design, which is what I feel should come on every truck, which, you know, for the most part they do. But then you look at like the Honda Ridgeline or something like that, and it's more of like a rounded vehicle. I don't know if I'd consider that a truck. Maybe I would. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. But starting over here at our front grille, you get a metallic gray front grille with a body color grille surround. Obviously your Nissan logo is at the center of your front grille, and then you get the Titan lettering imprinted at the top of your front grille. But working our way down just a tad, you get a chrome metal center bumper. So from here to here is all chrome, and it is metal. Take a listen. So that is the only metal piece on your front bumper. The outer parts of your front bumper are body color, and they're more of like a plastic material. Take a listen. Versus, so that's metal, that's plastic, and this particular one has the $2,590 SV convenience package, which gives you forward-facing sensors. So you get 4 forward-facing sensors on the front end. I'll point those out now. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 over there. And one thing that I failed to mention is that you also get 2 integrated black tow hooks where your chrome piece is. So you get one there, one over there. There's a closer look at your tow hook. So again, you get 2 integrated tow hooks there and there. And then if you were wondering about the ground clearance of the Titan SV, you get 8.4 inches of ground clearance, which in my opinion is respectable, because the Pro 4X only really gives you like 1.5 inches more ground clearance than the SV. But working our way into these wheels, these are the standard and the only wheel option you can choose from on the SV, and they are an 18-inch machine face with black pocket wheel, and they are wrapped in 265/70 General Grabber HTS tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. There's a view of that. So these are obviously more of a road going tire. However, you know, if you got to take this thing onto a job site, I think they, you know, they're plenty knobby enough to drive you through a little bit of mud and gravel and stuff like that. But this particular one has been optioned with the $245 splash guards. So they're basically like a mud flap, but they're, you know, Nissan calls them a splash guard, whereas on the Pro 4X, it's kind of funny. They call the Pro 4X's mud flaps, whereas these are called splash guards. But working our way into these side view mirrors, you get satin black mirror caps, and these side view mirrors are heated. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. They're also manual folding. However, if you need a little bit more than that, you can get the optional $790 tow package, which this one does not have. And basically that tow package, which gives you the extendable side view mirrors with the integrated turn signals and a puddle light, whereas this one, again, they don't extend and they don't have a puddle light, and or they don't have the integrated sensors. But now let's do a little side profile shot of the Titan. Again, I absolutely love this blue, and I do think it is kind of picking up on camera how nice the blue is here in person. But you do get black window trim as well as body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, keyless access does not come standard. It comes a part of the SV convenience package. So if you wanted to get into the vehicle, all you would have to do would either press that button to unlock and or lock the vehicle, dependent on if the vehicle has already been unlocked and or locked. And these are also satin black door handles. I think I already mentioned that, but I'm going to mention that again. And the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. The rear two doors do not get that keyless access function. And then also on your front two doors only is where you'll find your chrome Titan lettering. And then all the way at the bottom of this particular SV, this one has the optional $690 loop side steps. So I'll show that on screen now, and now it'll do a little side profile shot of that. These are actually usable steps, and I did use them when I filled this vehicle up with gas to step in and out. And it makes it a little bit easier to step in and out because, you know, if you didn't have those, it's actually quite a bit of a distance between the floor to like about right there to the like the step in. So working our way on down the side. I know this isn't considered the floor, this is more of the ground, but that was just what came to head when, you know, I was trying to describe that. But you do not get a capless filler neck. You do get the good old-fashioned, you know, screw off filler. But one thing I thought was kind of interesting is that premium fuel is recommended for the Titans with the 5.6 liter V8. So just something that you should be aware of when buying this vehicle. So it is recommended, it's not required. So you could put 87 octane in this and not really have any sort of problems. But working our way up top here, you do get a satin black shark fin antenna up top there. As again, this one does have the optional SV convenience package, and that SV convenience package gives you the power sliding rear window and the rear window defogger. And then just above that, I should have mentioned this first, but I didn't. As standard with the SV, you get LED cargo lights and an LED third brake light, which is what that is up top there. I know it's not coming up all that well on camera because of just the lighting that we have here, but just something I thought I would point out. Now let's do a little rear 3/4 shot of the SV. There you go. You do get standard taillights. One thing I thought was interesting is that on the Nissan website, it says that the SV comes standard with LED taillights. However, you may be able to tell these are not LED taillights. These are just your halogen taillights, the standard taillights. So just something that, you know, I thought I would point out because I thought that was kind of, you know, interesting. Sometimes that happens on the manufacturer's website. This is not the only vehicle that has happened to with me when doing these reviews. But working our way to the center of the tailgate, you do get a backup camera as standard. All vehicles 2018 and up were mandated to have a backup camera here in the United States. And then at the center of your tailgate is where you'll find your Nissan logo, and then you have your chrome badging on the lower section of your tailgate for your Titan badging and your SV and 4x4 badging. But you also, as standard with the SV, get a body color rear bumper. This particular one has been optioned with the $1,290 accessory utility package, which gives you this drop-in bed liner. So it is not a spray-in bed liner. It is a drop-in bed liner, so you can see you can lift it up. I personally don't like these all that much. I'm always a fan of the spray-in, but you know, that's just what this one has. And then you also get 4 tie-down hooks as standard, 1 in each corner, and then you get your Titan embossed into the front of this drop-in bed liner. This piece is also drop-in, which I thought was kind of interesting as well. Normally, like, that piece will be drop-in and then this will be spray-in from factory, but that is just not the case with the Titan. Like I just mentioned, this does have a body color rear bumper, and this one has the optional $2,590 SV convenience package, which gives you the parking sensors. So you get 4 integrated parking sensors back here. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And also with that accessory utility package, I pointed this out and I put it on screen, but I'll put it on screen again. You do get that bumper step, which is pretty cool, and the bumper step is located right there. All you got to do is kick it out, and it makes it a little bit easier to access the bed. A couple other things I wanted to mention, just a couple technical things. This gets a 3:6:9 axle ratio, as well as a 26-gallon fuel tank, and then the max tow capacity of this particular Titan SV is 9,310 pounds. Let me know what you think of the 2023 Titan in the comments down below. Do you like the way that this thing looks, or would you prefer to get a Chevy, a Toyota, Ford, a Ram, or a Nissan? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Most of the time when, you know, referring to a 1500 series truck, Nissan really doesn't come up all that much in the conversation. However, it should, because it is actually a pretty darn good truck. But with that stuff said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 5.6 liter V8 that makes 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 7.7 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 21 miles per gallon on the highway for 18 miles per gallon combined with four-wheel drive. One thing that I thought was kind of cool is that one of my commenters in the video I did with the Nissan Titan Pro 4X, he said that he averages about 16 miles per gallon with mostly city driving, stoplight to stoplight and stuff like that. So it's doing, you know, better than what they say on the window sticker. But if you are enjoying this video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and you know, it's definitely been harder than I expected it to be. So I put a lot of time into this, so I really appreciate it. If you guys would just take a second, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. That stuff greatly benefits my channel, and I truly do appreciate that stuff from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much to those of you guys who did that. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior with the SV convenience package, it gives you the Nissan Intelligent Key. So basically what you get with the SV convenience package consists of keyless access and remote start, as well as push button start. But if you guys want to remote start the vehicle, all you got to do is press that lock button and then press and hold the button above the lock button and take a listen. That is what it sounds like when it fires up. But like I said, you get keyless access. Just make sure you have your key fob in your pocket. Walk up to the vehicle, press on this button right here, and the vehicle will unlock. Now let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. So all of this that I'm circling with my finger right here is all leather wrapped. You get a vinyl wrapped armrest that is also nicely padded, and then the rest of the door panel is that satin black plastic. You get a chrome looking door handle. That is to adjust your power side view mirror controls. You got this button here to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get your unlock and your lock buttons. You get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. And then you get quite a bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of your door panel, and then you get place to set a Big Gulp 7-Eleven cup, as well as a Deer Park water bottle. But moving on into the interior, also with that SV convenience package, that gives you the front captain's chairs, as well as an 8-way power driver seat with power adjustable lumbar, and you get heated front seats with that package, as well as a couple of other things that I'll mention as we progress along into this video. But those are your seat controls for your power driver seat. Now let's step on into the interior and let's see what the SV has to offer here on the interior. So closing that door there, I'm going to turn the HVAC system on, roll a couple windows down, get a nice little cross flow going, and we will start the interior now. So starting over here, here are your headlight controls. So all the way to the left is off, that's automatic, that's daytime running lights on, and then all the way to the right is your headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic. I think Nissan does a good job of turning the lights on and off when they need to be. And then these buttons right here are to adjust the brightness and or dimness of your gauge cluster, as well as your backlit buttons. And then the button just to the right of that is your trip reset button. I'll get into that here as we progress again along in this video. Pressing on that button right there will turn your cargo lights on or off, and then just to the right of that you have this button here, basically to turn your household power outlet on or off here in the interior. And then all these other buttons are just blank buttons, and then, you know, once you step up to like a Pro 4X or a Platinum, that is when you get access to these buttons here. And then to the right of that you get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. What I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards you, and then it also moves up and down, again all to your liking, so you can adjust it exactly how you want it to be. Now let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is this your turn signal stock, this is also your high beam control stock and your windshield wiper control stock. Now zooming back out a little bit, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel with the SV convenience package. Obviously your Nissan logo is at the center, so is your horn and your airbag. So with that said, let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like in the Titan. So as standard with the SV, you get intelligent cruise control. So on the right hand side of the steering wheel you have your intelligent cruise control settings, but then on the left over here, if you press that button, that is going to speak to the vehicle. So basically you can see it says speaking right there, and then if you press this button right here, that will bring you into your phone screen on the infotainment system. So pretty cool. And then you have your volume controls, and then this up and down arrow as well as these side arrows here are to control your 7-inch productivity screen located at the center of your dash. And then all the way up top here you have your audio source button to bring you in between your FM, AM, Sirius XM, all your different audio sources like XM and so on and so forth. One thing that I thought though was kind of cheap feeling here on the Titan, and same thing goes for the Pro 4X, by the way, is that this gear shifter selector, it just feels really cheap. Like this area here feels like really cheap, and it feels like it's more of something that should be on a toy rather than an actual truck. So just something I thought I would point out. And then clicking on this button all the way down here, that's going to put you into your tow haul mode. And then these buttons here are to downshift on your transmission, and then the plus arrow is to upshift on your transmission. So you know, something that's nice is that you can control the transmission shifts up and down. But moving on into our gauge cluster, on the left hand side you have your tachometer, on the right hand side you have your speedometer. This is also known as your RPM gauge, and then that is your coolant temperature gauge, and then down here you have your fuel gauge. Now working our way into our productivity screen, this is basically like the home screen. So up top here you have your blind spot stuff, that is your fuel range, and then that is the ambient exterior temperature. That's your digital speedometer readout, your average speed there, that is the odometer, transmission status stuff down here, and then that's letting us know the transfer case status, basically saying that we are in two-wheel drive right now. So you can see the two rear wheels are shaded in a white color, basically, you know, again, telling us that we are in two-wheel drive. But again, to control that screen, you have these controls here. So we'll go throughout the screen here. So basically all I'm going to do is click to the left, and then that's going to bring you into your off-road stuff. Click over one more time to the left, or to the right, excuse me. I don't know my right from my left. These are your auxiliary gauges. One more time to the right, you get some more auxiliary gauges. Then you have your driving stuff. Then you have your fuel economy stuff, your Bluetooth audio stuff, your driving aids, your tire pressure monitoring system stuff, and then this is your different settings. So I'll click into the driver assistant setting. So you can go into here, you get your lane stuff, you get your blind spot monitoring stuff, your your emergency brake stuff, driver attention. Again, to control down, you're just clicking down on that, and then you get your parking aids, so on and so forth. And that's kind of about it. If this was my vehicle, I'm gonna click back over to the right. This is the screen that I would leave this on, because I always like to have a digital speedometer readout on the screen at all times, just to make sure that I am not speeding, because it's a little bit easier to read that than it is to read your speedometer. Moving up to over here, on your driver's side, you get an oh poop handle, which is kind of nice, because on, you know, about 50% of vehicles, you don't get an oh poop handle on the driver's side, whereas on this vehicle, you do. All of your dash is all vinyl wrapped. And then working our way into the infotainment screen. This is the standard 8-inch infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto comes standard on the Pro 4X and on the Platinum. This is neither of those, so you get wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. So this is what your home screen looks like right there. You can click over to the left, that will bring you into this clock, and you can customize the home menu. And then clicking over to the right, you have your different audio sources there. And then at the bottom of the screen, you have your different shortcut buttons. So you have your phone button, your audio button, your connection button, your info button, and your settings button. And then I guess I can show you what the audio button looks like. So that is your audio. You can go between your different sources here, your USB sources, Bluetooth audio sources, CarPlay stuff. Again, this is wired CarPlay. And then you can go between your different settings over here. So those are all your different settings. That's one setting screen. That's the second setting screen. Now I'm gonna click back over to there. That's your volume control knob. That is your tuning control knob. And then I really like how big the buttons are and how big the knobs are, because it makes it very easy to control when you have gloves on or something like that. And then this is your audio shortcut physical button, so that will bring you into your audio screen. This is your home button, bring you into your home screen. That's your phone shortcut button, brings you into your phone screen. So these are basically like redundant physical buttons for your buttons on the screen. That's to go back on a track, that's to go forward on a track. That will pop up your camera setting stuff here, so you can go in between your predicted course lines, which are on at the moment, so you can see you have the guidance lines, and then that button right there will bring you into your night mode and or your auto mode. And then that is basically like a back button. So that's your home button, that's your back button. That's kind of about it for that screen. I don't want to spend too much time on that, because you know that would make this video longer than it already is going to be. And then also with that SV convenience package, you get dual zone automatic climate control. So basically it'll adjust the fan speed as necessary to keep the interior, you know, set to that certain temperature. I'll show you what the screen looks like. That is what the screen looks like. You have your fan speed, so on and so forth. Then you have your front defroster, your rear defroster, and then these different controls over there. Coming down a little bit more, again with the SV convenience package, you get push button start. So that is what the push button start button looks like. That is to turn traction control on or off. That is to turn your parking sensors on or off. That's your hazard button, and that is to turn your blind spot monitoring system on or off. with the SV, you get a 2-speed transfer case as standard. So that's gonna put you into 4-wheel drive high, and then you have to push and twist to the right to put you into 4-wheel drive low. And again, it's gonna let you know that the transfer case is now engaged and that the front wheels are now in 4-wheel drive low. I do believe you have to put it into neutral in order to put it into 4-wheel drive low. So now it is in 4-wheel drive low. Then we'll swap it back over to 2-wheel drive, and you can hear it disengage 4-wheel drive low. Now we are back into 2-wheel drive, and you can see only the 2 rear wheels are shaded in. And then over here, let you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You get a 12-volt power outlet beneath that. Then you get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, a great spot you could set a phone. Again, with the SV convenience package, you get heated front seats with 2 levels of adjustability. Also with that SV convenience package, you have a spot you can set your phone right here. So the SV does not come standard with this. Basically, you can set your phone here, and it's gonna hold your phone down in there like that. So that's nice, and that comes with the SV convenience package. If you don't want that, you can always take it out, and then you get a little bit of more storage space down in there. But personally, I would leave it in because, you know, it actually is pretty usable. Then you get 2 cup holders right here. You can see I have my cup holders filled up right now with 2 cups. And down here, you get a little bit of storage space. Then you get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest. Opening this up, you get a ton of storage space down in here, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. And then down in there, you also got a spot. Maybe you could set a phone in here if you wanted to, but tons of storage space. I'd say about 65% of my forearm fits down in there. So quite a bit of space. And then this thing also goes in here as well. Over here, you could set your business cards. You could set a phone in here, and then you can also set some coins or stuff like that in there. And then taking a look at this, you got a pen holder, 2 pen holders actually, and then you got a spot you could set your business cards there as well. So this could be a company vehicle for you if you own a construction company or, you know, something along those lines. Then you get a lockable glove box. That is what your glove box looks like. Right now, your owner's manual is in there, so you could also set some miscellaneous things like snacks, tissues, stuff like that. And then over there, you get an OPU panel on the A-pillar. You also get an OPU panel integrated into the roof there as well. Opening this up, you get a spot you could set your sunglasses and or a taco if you wanted to. Then you get a driver light, passenger light, and then this in between is your light setting. So you can either have the lights turn on when you open up the doors, which is what this setting is. You flip that up. Now when I open up the doors, the lights will not turn on. Boom. And then you can also just instantly turn your lights on by flicking that all the way forward. So that is what that does. And then also with that SV convenience package, you get the power sliding rear window, and that button right there is to open and or close your power sliding rear window. So that's opening it, that's closing it, and that's what that does. That's your SOS button, kind of like roadside assistance stuff. And then moving on into our visor, you get a little clip right here. You can set your registration or any small paper product. And then opening this up, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light, and that vanity light does come a part of the SV convenience package. And then this visor also slides forwards and backwards to your liking. And that's, you know, really kind of about it for what we got going on here in the front. I think you also get a little bit of storage space down over here as well. But again, like I said, that's pretty much about it for what we got going on here in the front. So now I do want to throw the entire window sticker on screen. And basically you can take a look at whatever you want to. You can take a look at the optional stuff. You can take a look at the everything that comes standard, the fuel economy, so on and so forth. Basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Nissan Titan SV is spec'd is $55,015. I think that is definitely a lot of money. This one is selling under MSRP, but you know, it seems like truck prices are just very, very expensive nowadays. And you know, this one is no different. Very expensive truck. But, you know, this thing's probably going to last you forever. And that is one thing I wanted to say is that, yes, this truck is, you know, rather basic, but I think that's a good thing if you want to keep this truck for 20 years. You know what I mean? It's less stuff to go wrong. You get the physical buttons, you get the analog speedometer and the RPM gauge, which in my opinion, I think is going to look a lot better than all these digital digital dashes that you see on pretty much all the other trucks. I think this will age better over time than those digital dashes. Plus, the powertrain is just so simple, which again is better for reliability, which is kind of what you're looking for if, you know, you're looking to buy a truck. At least, you know, some people are. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before we moved into the driving portion of the review. And there is one option back here that I did want to point out. Basically, it was the $215 carpeted floor mats, which basically you can see get the Titan lettering on them. So that is a look at your $215 carpeted floor mats. But starting over here at our rear door panel, looks similar to what you find in the front, just a little bit smaller. You get a vinyl wrapped armrest that is nicely padded. No automatic up or down windows in the back, but you do get a chrome looking door handle. A little bit of miscellaneous storage space. You can set your big gulp cup there and a Deer Park water bottle. But moving on into the interior, this is what your rear seats look like. I do believe that this does fold up so you can get a little bit of flat storage space. Let's say you have a dog. Well, you can set your dog's bed here, and then your dog's going to be comfortable because he has some flat, or he or she has some flat space where they can lay down and just be comfortable rather than it being like a partitioned storage space. So I think this is always nice to find in trucks and stuff, because I have a dog and I know my dog likes to lay flat on carpet rather than, you know, having a partition storage space or laying on the seats, because I don't want them on my seats. But that's kind of about it for what's going on under here. If you want to fold these seats back down, pull back on this like door handle looking thing, and then the seats will drop back down. But stepping on into the interior, like I said, those are very useful, and then this is also very useful to step in as well. Not only do you get one on the B pillar, you also get one integrated into the roof as well. You also get a spot you could set your dry cleaning there. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a seat back pocket over there behind the passenger seat. 2 cup holders up top here. You get some Titan lettering there. 2 HVAC vents. I believe those HVAC vents come a part of the SV convenience package. And then you also get this household power outlet here that also comes a part of the SV convenience package, as do these 2 USB-A ports and this 12-volt power outlet. So all this connectivity comes a part of that SV convenience package, which makes it, you know, a lot better if you have kids or something like that, or people who are actually going to be using these back seats. The SV convenience package is definitely an option that I would recommend you get if you are looking at getting the SV Titan. But also, you get 2 cup holders here. You get a center fold down armrest that is nicely padded. You may be able to tell I am adjusted behind myself. I am 5'9". I have plenty of knee room, plenty of leg room, as well as plenty of headroom left over as well. And then you also get the same kind of adjustments as you find in the front with the off, the door, and the on. So this is what your dome light looks like back here. But really, you know, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the Titan SV. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Titan SV. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the review, where this thing actually drives pretty nice, and it drives like a truck. But I take that as a compliment, because, you know, a lot of new vehicles like F-150, Silverado, they all ride kind of like an SUV. And this thing, it rides very nice. Like, it just soaked up those bumps very, very well. But you can tell that you're driving a truck, which is a good thing. And I actually appreciate that, because I don't know, it gives you the trucky vibe. And then it also has pretty heavy steering, which I saw people complaining about, but I also like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what inputs you're putting in, because you got to put a little bit extra effort into steering it and stuff like that, which again, I really appreciate that Nissan does with their trucks. So the Frontier is about the same as this, like steering effort wise, which I personally really like. And honestly, the steering is pretty dang precise as well. And one thing I wanted to mention right off the bat also is that the low end torque of this motor is so good. And it's something that I think the low end torque, I mean, you really don't even have to get up above 2,000 RPMs in order to get this truck up and moving, which is awesome. And that was something that I definitely noticed, not only when I was driving the Pro 4X, but also driving this from the dealership to the spot that I film. I was noticing that it really doesn't rev above like 2,500 RPM if you're just doing like a moderate acceleration, which is awesome. And I think that also helps out with the fuel economy, because it really doesn't have to wind itself out. But when you do wind it out, it's actually a pretty dang good sounding motor as well. And that was one thing I also wanted to say, is that, you know, the motor's basic. There's no turbos. It's just a naturally aspirated motor mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And by the way, the transmission shifts super, super seamlessly. And like I was mentioning, it is, you know, a rather basic truck. And I think that is also a plus, because you get all these physical knobs, you get all these physical buttons, and then you get a motor that's naturally aspirated that is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And it just, the motor matched to this transmission, they both just like work together very, very well to give you a great experience. Like, watch it shift. Just very, very good shifts. It's not like clumsy. It's not like, you know, searching for gears. It just knows exactly what it wants to do, which is something that I've noticed like with the F-150s and the Silverados, is that while the 10-speed is a good transmission, it's not quite as seamless. It's not quite as well, in my opinion, as well put together as this 9-speed. This 9-speed is just very, very smooth, and when it shifts between gears, you can honestly almost not even feel it shift, which is awesome. You know, when you're driving a truck, yeah, you know, when it shifts and you can feel the shift, you know, it's not that big of a deal because it's a truck, and you know, it's kind of what you want. You kind of want to feel the shifts, and you can feel the shifts, but here's a little acceleration. Very quick shifts. The motor sounds great, and it's got really, really good get up. And one thing, I did a video with the Pro 4X, and I had a commenter who owned a Pro 4X, and he was saying from personal experience, from stoplight to stoplight, mostly city driving, he's averaging about 16 miles per gallon. Obviously that's with 4-wheel drive because it's the Pro 4X. So to get better fuel economy than what it says on the window sticker, in my opinion, that's always a win. And then also something I've noticed about these trucks, and pretty much any truck, is that they all handle surprisingly well. And that is something that if you've never driven a truck before and you're looking into buying a truck, for this is going to be your first truck, they handle surprisingly well for what it looks like it would handle, if that makes sense. So you would expect this thing to have like quite a bit of body roll, which when you do the body roll test, you know, it does. But when you actually put it to use, like you're actually going to drive a truck like this, there's really not all that much body roll, which is always a win, and that's always a great thing, because, you know, body roll, you know, it kind of, you're like, when you drive a vehicle with a lot of body roll, it's kind of annoying. But this, very, very minimal body roll considering the weight and, you know, just the overall size of this truck. So I think this is a great truck. I think it is a tad bit expensive, and I think that the prices, you know, should come down a little bit. But when you start comparing this to like F-150s and Silverados, you're like, damn, these truck prices are insane. And, you know, this pretty much follows suit with Ford, Ram, Chevy, because pretty much, you know, all the new trucks are expensive. You know, it's just the way that it is. Everything's expensive. You know, it's just, I guess, the way that it goes as time goes on, everything's getting more expensive. Unfortunately, when I started this YouTube channel, everything seemed to get more expensive from 2020 on up, which is unfortunate because I want to buy a vehicle, but everything's just so expensive. Anyways, this one's selling under MSRP, so I think this one, I'm not sure what this one is selling for, but I know I did a video with the Pro 4X with the sticker price was like 62 and they were selling it for like 54. So I would say that this would probably be, you know, maybe like 50, maybe 49. I don't know what the exact selling price is, but let's go over these bumps. Soaks up those bumps. You can honestly barely even feel them. Suspension on this is great. Now we're gonna do another little acceleration here, and basically I'm floored right now. And that is what the acceleration is like. I got a low fuel light as soon as I floored it, but I did notice there was kind of a lag in the acceleration a little bit, and I'm gonna try that one more time. That one was better, but the floored one, it kind of took it a second to kind of gather its thoughts and see, like, hey, do you actually want it to be floored? And yeah, the answer was yes. But overall, this is a great driving truck, and if you're going to be using a truck for truck things, or you just want a reliable truck that's going to last you 20 years, I think this is a great truck for that, because again, it's got a very basic powertrain, which is a good thing. It's got all these knobs and buttons, which in my opinion is always a good thing. You know, I do like the screens, honestly, but you know, in 20 years, I think this is going to look better, and I think this is going to look better than what you get with all the new vehicles with all these big screens and all that kind of stuff. I think this is going to age better over time. It's obviously going to work better, in my opinion, also over time, because, you know, you're not going to have 20-year-old software. You're just going to have this hardware here that's just going to work the same as it does now in 20 years. So I think that is always a win. And also, recommended package to get with the SV is the SV convenience package. Also, again, low end torque, absolutely great out of the 5.6 liter V8. But overall, I think this is a great truck. I think this is going to be a reliable truck long term, which, you know, if you're looking at buying a vehicle and you don't want to have to just continue buying vehicles every 5, 6, 7, 10 years, this is a great truck to look at least just take a look at it. Doesn't mean you got to buy it, but just go out and take a look at it. If you're at least you know, thinking about getting one and you're comparing it to the F-150, you're comparing it to the Silverado, at least, you know, put it on the list to go and take a look at, because it really, really is a great truck. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without your support. Also, like I said, it's been harder to get subscribers. You know, I thought I could get 25,000 subscribers like that, and it's just, it doesn't work that way. It's definitely been an effort. It's definitely been, you know, a lot of time and effort put into this channel, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love what I do. I love making these videos, and I hope that you guys love watching the videos. But again, if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.